What's up, Cam?
Well, Mitch, I'm mad at my HomePod's Siri's being dumb.
Oh boy. Story?
I will ask Siri to turn on my bedroom lights or the kitchen lights or the living room lights, and it will say, "I'm sorry. Please make sure that your iPhone is on and connected to the same Wi-Fi." Well, it is. It's in my hand, you dumb robot. And it's because I got a new iPhone. I can guarantee that. But there's no way for me to fix this that I can think of. My iPhone is up to date on its software updates. My HomePods are up to date on their software updates. And yet it refuses to recognize the iPhone that I hold in my hand. It's
All
very
right.
frustrating.
So I was having some issues with like similar issues. Um and I reset my or not reset, but rebooted my router. Did the whole unplug it for 30 seconds, plug it back in, let it reset, and it fixed everything.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. It's
Why
just
would
like
it be a
some
router issue?
I don't know, but it worked. So
I'm thinking about resetting my HomePods is what I'm thinking about doing. But
I'm not
I'll do
questioning
that.
success. Do the router thing first.
That makes no sense. I'll do it because you said so, but
Mm-hmm.
that makes no sense to me. Why it would be a router issue when my HomePods are like, "I'm sorry, I don't know where your iPhone is.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my hand." Stupid robot.
So I had a really good day yesterday.
Oh yeah, how was your day yesterday?
It was
Forgot
good.
to ask.
Yeah. Nice day off. And it was my birthday yesterday. If you guys didn't know that.
Well, I'm a terrible co-host. I didn't know it was your birthday yesterday.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. And I did a little planning ahead and I got myself a little something to do yesterday and had a blast doing it. And that is, I bought the Bad Batch. Oh, shoot, I just shot myself. I got the Bad Batch Lego. What's the name of it? It's the Attack shuttle from the Bad Batch cartoon. And oh, I just shot the other one. I'm gonna have to look for those later. So I built this yesterday and
It
had
looks like
fun.
the Emperor's shuttle.
I think it's the design is supposed to be related to it, but this is more like a version of the shuttle that's more for fighting because it's got weapons that I just shot myself with. Um, but the whole top of it opens up here, so you can see the cockpit and the crew quarters and everything inside of it. So it's pretty neat.
How long did that take you to build?
I took about an hour or hour and a half break or so, went to go pick up my wife, and when we went and did some shopping, and that probably I started around 9:30 in the morning and I finished it at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So that's a good build. It was a good day. It did come with a couple of speeders, as long as I don't push them off my desk over here. Came with this little guy
Oh, nice.
and this little guy.
A green one. Interesting.
Yeah.
I
I
was not
thought that was
expecting
interesting
that.
too, but I think it is from the cartoon. Now the I'm bearing the lead a little bit because I really enjoy what they do with the minifigs, and these are some of the coolest minifigs I've seen. So I could probably try the macro photography on these because they would
Mm.
look pretty cool. But one of the better ones, if you've watched the Bad Batch, and I don't know that I wouldn't recommend you do yet because it takes place after the Clone Wars, and I know you're watching through the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm still on Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. But Tech is one of the characters. Have you ever seen a helmet that elaborate? This helmet is so elaborate compared to the helmets that I've seen on other sets that I've ordered. They also, I wish I'm such a bad Star Wars guy. I can't remember this guy's name for the life of me right now. But his outfit's pretty elaborate too. Comes with shoulder pads and stuff like that. So, but he's like the big heavy of the group. I wish I could remember his name because there's Tech and Hunter and Crosshairs and Echo, and like he's the one that I can't remember. It's just not coming to me. So, at any rate, so I had a lot of fun with that yesterday. So that was good.
Very cool.
I do like building Lego. I'm just, I don't think we ever stop being kids. We just get more responsibilities and have to deal with our responsibilities. But we can still take a day and be a kid.
So on that subject, my daughter is almost 5 now. She'll be 5 in a little over a month, and one of the things that still fascinates me about kids her age is like they just play. Like there's no rules, there's no like context, there's no framework. They're like, Dad, let's just play. And I'm like, okay, what are we playing? We're just gonna play. And it doesn't matter if it's horses or dinosaurs or cars or Barbies or trolls or like it. She just plays.
Yeah.
And she makes these stories and they do. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed like. How do I like what's the goal? What's the context? How to like what are the those don't exist to her. She just plays. And that fascinates me because I'm like, I don't know how to participate in this anymore, which makes me really sad because like I'm a fun guy. Like I like to have fun and goof around and be silly and what I think is playing, right? But she's like on a whole other level.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me.
Kids. Yeah, I think they kind of almost see play as just this amorphous thing that you do.
Whatever goes. And then like I'll start trying to do it. She's like, no, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, how am I doing it wrong? There's no rules.
So funny.
She has like voices and characters and like it's quite entertaining. But anyways.
All right. Well, let's talk about your iPad mini. You've got it. You've had some time with it. I know you're in love with it.
Love is such a insufficient word, Mitch. It is amazing and lovely and wonderful.
It looks pretty.
I know. Check out that background, bro. And you'll notice there's nothing on the home screen.
You have no icons on your home screen, just on the dock.
And it's glorious.
That is a bold choice.
Well, but I do not have like what you see in the dock is pretty much what I have on this device, minus a few other like utilities. So I've got shortcuts, the home app, Safari, Music, Overcast, Audible, Books, Kindle, Instapaper, Craft, Obsidian, and the ESV Bible app. And then I have like Procreate and like a few other random like with the weather app and sports app if I want to get some news. But I use this to read, to study, to listen to music, to read articles on the internet, and then to prep for like the Bible studies that I teach. Like this is a very what's the word? Deliberate device for me. Whereas like my Mac or my iPad Pro that I have, like that is the work machine. That's like has everything on it. Like I don't have games on this. I don't have social media on this. I don't have email on this. I don't text message from this. None of that. This is not a communication. This is not a communication device. Nothing like that. I'm either reading or researching or teaching from this thing. And it's like, it is smaller than my iPhone, but it feels lighter because it's less dense, right? So it's like it's kind of tricking your brain, the whole density thing. But I can hold this thing for hours and not at all get fatigued. I love that the pencil is like there's like a 1/2 inch on this side and a 1/2 inch on that side. It just looks adorable, doesn't it? I love it so much, Mitch. It makes me happy.
I do like it, and I could definitely see a place in my life for the iPad Mini, but it would be just for reading.
That it's an expensive reader if that's all it's for, right?
Yeah, and that was what I was going to come around to is, if I don't have a lot of the other functionality on that device, then yeah, it is just a really expensive Kindle for me. Even though, so one of my frustrations with the Kindle, and I would totally buy into the Kindle Oasis if they would support the automatic page turning that's in the app on the iPad. You can do this on the iPad and the iPhone where you're listening to the Audible audio and it follows along in the Kindle book. If that was on the Oasis, I would probably buy the Oasis for reading. But
That's why would it not be on there? Because isn't the Oasis like the premier Kindle?
yeah, and to me that seems like such a missing feature.
Yeah, that's like laughably bad that it's on the iPad, but not on their premier version of the Kindle. That's quite funny.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I would buy the iPad Mini. And when it comes right down to it, I have to make a argument for the price for something like that. And it wouldn't be the only thing that I would use it for, but for me to get that and the pencil to do what I do with my current iPad would be, I would have to make that argument.
Yeah, and so for the record, this pencil lives between this and the Pro. I did not buy a second one because that's a
Okay.
waste of 100. It's a waste of $150, which I think is like ludicrous, right? But it's
Totally
just
makes
literally
sense.
it popped. I just dropped it. It just pops on and it
It
pairs.
literally just pops right off.
No, yeah, it just pops on and it pairs with the device.
Yep.
So I can take it, I can pop it on the iPad Pro, and it's good to go. But this is, to CGP Gray's liking, I suppose. If you're sitting on a couch and using an iPhone, you're doing it wrong. You need to be using an iPad.
Yeah.
So this, and it's just so like literally like it is the size of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it so much. Yeah, but it's also the width of my hand. Your iPhone is skinny.
So I was just gonna look up because this was something I wanted to do on the show today. I wanted to look up the actual size of the Pro Max, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and compare it to the size of the iPad Mini and see how far off it is. Because
It's
I know
definitely much skinnier.
the screen size on that is 8.3, right? On the iPad Mini.
Right, and that's the diagonal though.
Right, exactly. And then it's 6.7 on the iPad, or I'm sorry, the iPhone 13 Pro Max.
So 1.6 inches.
1.6 inches. So the height of the device, according to Apple's website, is 6.33 inches. That's the phone, the Pro Max. And it is just over 3 inches wide. So figure about 6 1/3 inches tall and about 3 inches wide. So if we go to the iPad, pull up the iPad Mini, tech specs.
Should be about 7 inches tall, roughly.
Yeah, 7.69 inches tall. So that's a difference of 1.1 inches.
A third, yeah.
And 5.3 inches wide. That is a difference of over 2 inches wide. So where your width is where you're really the difference
Exactly.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit taller, but it's significantly wider. So no, I would totally purchase this if it was not, what is it, $599?
No, the base model, which I got, the 64 gig, is $349, I think.
$349?
I think so.
That's not
or is
terrible.
it $399 maybe? It's not more than 400.
Okay, can I just tell you how it annoys me that some of the stuff on the Apple website is just makes you have to sit and wait for stuff as you're scrolling. Have you done this?
Oh, all the animation stuff that they do.
Okay,
yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see this. And I apologize to everybody that's listening because this is not gonna. This is I can't demo this on the show, but
mega power. Just click the buy button, bro.
No, I get it, but as you scroll up, this is the one that gets me. I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling,
But
I'm
it's
scrolling,
spinning and doing
and it's
fancy
stuck
things.
on one video. That's just that's obnoxious. Because I was doing this on my phone at one
Oh, it's
point,
even worse there. Yeah.
and it's like, dude, just move. This is not the way the internet's supposed to work. What is that? Oh,
It looks like
anyway.
a some sort of music controller.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen
Click the
here.
buy
So
button. I want to know if I was right. Is it $3.49 or $3.99 for this?
I think 3.99
Gig?
sounds better.
I don't care what sounds better. What does the website say?
Well, no, I mean it sounds more correct. Oh no, 4.99 from 4.99.
Really?
Uh huh.
I spent that much money on an iPad?
So let's pick Space Gray, 64 gig, Wi-Fi only, no engraving. Did you ever get your stuff engraved?
No.
I'm afraid that like if I want to turn around and resell it for some reason, then it's got my stupid whatever I put on it on there.
Poop emoji.
Yeah, probably the poop emoji. Yeah. Um,
Release. Wow.
of course, I've got to add the Apple Pencil to it. Got to get that electric orange case. That's too pretty.
I almost got that.
That
But then for my birthday, my mom was like, I'll buy you I'll buy you a smart folio or whatever they call it.
yeah.
So I just got the
So
black.
so that brings me to all in. If I was going to buy this with the options that I want, understand that there's
700.
$129 in here for the Apple Pencil, which wouldn't necessarily be needed,
What,
but
680?
687 is the total price. That includes the folio case,
Jeez.
the smart folio case. 57.24 a month, which is on the high side of what I would be able to do. So I don't know. It sure would be nice. I would like
Yeah,
having
but
this
that's
for reading and stuff, but over $600 for a reader. If it was 349,
I don't know
that's
where I got that idea from.
yeah, but that's just over that's $100 over the Kindle Oasis, which I think would be completely, doable. I don't think that's a bad price at all. I think where you might have gotten the 349 is the
Oh,
iPad.
that's
iPad.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a starting. Oh, it's from 329 for the iPad.
All right, so I'm just crazy. All right, I can take.
And the iPad Pro starts at 799.
Yeah.
Oh wait, where's the iPad Air in all this? Oh, 599 for the iPad Air.
So you're
I
you're paying the extra $100 for the bigger screen essentially.
mhm. I actually I have to make decisions on this because I this iPad is really getting long in the tooth, and I really want to update, but I can't get myself to spend that money right now.
Well, I mean, especially if you want to go to 12.9, like that is, whoo, buku bucks.
Well, I'm kind of coming back on that because it is so much more expensive. And by the way, white cases, the white keyboard, and that would be black in like I'll give me like a month. It's just going to have marks all over it, and
Well, yeah.
that's a
So
nice thing about the black.
before I got the Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro, I had the white Smart Folio for it,
Mm-hmm.
and especially the backside was very gray.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I swapped it out for the Smart Keyboard,
Yep, I know how you like your white. So
dude, my whole house is white and black, and then the pops of color, they're just like, ooh, that's fun. Some like nice pastels with the black and white, primo, dude.
so
Stuff.
that brings me to something that I probably should save to when we get to the Apple Watch at some point. There's rumors that they're going to be starting pre-orders on the 8th. So, but there is a new watch face that is the World Time watch face. Have you seen this yet?
Mm-mm. I have not.
Okay, so is it WatchOS 8?
Yeah, that was the name.
There is a new watch face. It's like World Time. It's got all the time zones on the dial. It's a
That
really busy dial. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. It's a super busy dial. Let me see if I can screenshot it. Okay, I'll send you a copy of that. But it's a super busy dial. But every time I look at it, I think to myself, wow, Cam would really like that because of the white and black that I've got going on here. So let me send this to you real quick, and you can tell me what you think. So that's on its way.
Why would you want all the time zones on one dial? Like,
I don't really understand it, but I've been using this one as my weekend when I'm off of work.
Holy Moses.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a lot. It's a really busy time.
I don't even know how you would read this.
Yeah, so all I can think of is you see where the moon is by Moscow,
Yeah.
which is funny because isn't there a moon over Moscow thing there? I don't I'll have to
I
look
don't
that
know.
up.
There's a Moscow Mule,
Moscow Mule, sure.
which is a beverage.
And then on the opposite side of the dial, it's got Alaska with the sun.
So that would be with sunset and sunrise, right?
Yeah, that's what I would assume is like right now,
And then it's midnight in Tokyo, right? And noon
right,
in Rio.
right.
So it just adjusts that dial based on your time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 5 o'clock in Paris, 11 in New York. Okay.
And I think the digital readout for your time is the best one on this dial. They do have the analog dial as well, but because it's such a busy watch face, that analog dial gets lost.
Interesting.
So,
So what I will tell you this, what bothers me about it
mm-hmm.
is like see at 4 a.m. where Auckland is,
Mm-hmm.
that's different in orientation to Numia and Samoa.
Oh yeah.
That makes me cringe so much.
I've never noticed that before. It's the top half of the dial has all the numbers. It's not even the top half of the dial. It's like the top half of the dial if you turn it like 2 degrees or whatever is oriented differently. The top half is oriented differently from the bottom half.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is weird. I hadn't noticed that until now. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, well, it's your fault for showing this to me. I'm the guy that will come into your house and be like, "Oh, that picture's off 3 degrees. You need to straighten it."
Okay, so just from a color standpoint, do you not love that look though? Just the color?
No, I like the black and white. It's
black
fun.
and white.
Yeah, it's good. I think it would be cool though if there was like a gradient of color on the time, the hours band from daylight to sunset.
There is. It's really subtle. If you look,
there's no color in this image except for the red dot at the top.
No, look at the.
I'm talking color gradient, not white to.
Okay, yeah, but if you, I understand what you're saying, but if you look at the dial, the land up here is darker than on the bottom of the
right.
dial.
I was talking about the black band that has the hours in it. If that like from sunrise to sunset had a color gradient to it, like
sure,
that would look pretty dope.
I think this would be a great one to have a multicolor option for, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see what they would do with the multicolor option of this one.
It's very busy though.
But anyway,
I will say that. Interesting concept.
Yeah,
sure. It shall be in the show notes.
Thanks for giving me more work to do. All right.
It's You're welcome.
So I got to get that into the show notes.
Also, anyway. Can you come mow my lawn? That'd be great.
No. Maybe I'll just put it in as chapter art. So.
Oh, that'd be even better because it's square already. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. That would be perfect. So, all right. Well, you ready to move on? Talk about the main event today?
Yes, I am.
All right. So we are going to talk about the iPhones as we both have our iPhones now. Mm-hmm. And did I see you are caseless?
Yes, naked as God intended.
So Jamie and I were just talking this morning about I mentioned to her because I was listening to ATP, and by the way, this week's ATP makes me a little crazy. Which maybe we'll get to it later, but there's a whole section of the show that makes me crazy today, and we got to talk about that. But I'm gonna pull the case off of this. But last time I had a phone that the only time I've ever had a phone that I did not have a case on, that wasn't just like a little flip phone or whatever, that we're just talking iPhones here. I've always had a case on my iPhones. But last time I went 7 days without a case on my iPhone. Yeah, I ended up shattering the screen. So I have if you can call it superstition, but I not messing around with that, because yeah, it was very inconvenient, especially because it was a brand new phone and they didn't have any like refurbs in the pipeline. So it took me, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks to actually get a replacement for the phone. So
I mean, I have a case, but I don't wear it all the time.
mm-hmm.
Like we've had these for what, 2 weeks now,
Yeah,
and I think I've had this on there for 2 days, non-sequential. So
yeah, definitely. If
and
I'm leaving the house, I'm putting it on.
yeah. Well, it's a quad lock, and the only reason I have it is for the car mount.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone on any road trips, so I don't really need it mounted in the car. So.
Oh, I found something the other day. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, the tension. I wonder what it could be. Did he find a ferret in his basement? Maybe he found buried treasure.
Sorry, I should have grabbed this before I came on.
I must know. I gave the listeners 2 ideas of what it could be.
Okay, what were the ideas?
You will find out when you edit the episode.
Okay, all right. So, first one is, this is the last phone I had before the iPhone. This is my little Samsung candy bar phone.
Oh boy.
Yep. So little slide out keyboard on it.
Isn't
that cute? We could do our little text.
Look how tiny those buttons are.
I know, they are super tiny. I don't know how I did this. That was crazy. But the last flip phone I had, I found with it. This is my little Samsung. I don't know what the.
Oh gosh.
I don't know that it matters what the brand name is on, or the. Yeah, whatever. But you notice the camera in the middle there. This was their solution, so you could take a picture of yourself when you had the phone open, and then when you flipped it shut, it was aiming out the back of the phone. So it's for those of you who can't see it, it's right in the hinge of the phone. So when you open up the phone, the camera rotates to face whatever direction it thinks it should.
That's clever.
It's hilarious. And again, texting on that, like, man, the world
T9,
we came
baby.
from.
T9.
Yep, the world we came from, I'll tell you. All right. But anyway, iPhone caseless. So I took my case off just to show some solidarity with you.
Dude, the screen on this thing. Holy cow. The screen is so good.
Can we talk about the promotion for a sec?
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
Yes.
All the animations are so much smoother.
Yeah, I noticed it first when I went to the app switcher. You know, when you swipe up from the bottom, I was like, oh, there's like inertia, like they speed up and slow down on your flick, and like that's where I noticed it first. And now I'm just like super used to it. But like even like flipping back and forth between like the home screen and the today screen, and you know, it's just like, oh man, it's so nice.
They use the term buttery smooth. That was no joke. That was my initial thought was, oh, this is like smooth as butter. I was like, oh, and then they did say that, didn't they? But it has this like, yeah, you can see the animations kind of ramp up and slow down, and there's just something so much more. I don't know. It just feels different. I will tell you one thing that I was using the other day to test it. Do you have Dice by pCalc?
I do not.
No. If you download Dice by pCalc and you go into the settings, you can change the frame rate to 120 hertz now, and the dice, you can see a difference between how the dice roll. So you tap it, you can see the difference in the animations, how the dice roll. So in 60 hertz, there's tearing when they're moving really fast. You can see like it looks like a jaggedy edge along the lines. They don't move smoothly. in 120 hertz, totally moves smooth. Like you don't see that tearing. It's pretty crazy. So I like it.
I like it a lot.
By the way, did you notice my wallpaper? So iFixit released
You're such a nerd.
There's two wallpapers. There's two wallpapers, and I'll try to find a link and put them in the show notes. But there's a, and I'll show it. This is just in photos, but you can see it better in photos. There is just the teardown version of the. So basically shows you they have they have it for the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. And so it shows you where the battery. I mean, it's just basically they took a picture
of the internals,
of the phone internals. The other one that I'm using is their X-ray view. So, and it lines up
it
perfectly.
Has the MagSafe, yeah,
it lines up perfectly with everything on the phone. So it's pretty cool. I like it. Yes, I'm a nerd, but it's fun.
Yeah, and I'm the one over here with the pretty forest background.
Yeah, it is a pretty background. You got some ocean in there too. Yeah. Oh, we're getting nowhere.
I've got a shortcut which is fun called new wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
And you tap it, and it goes into my wallpapers folder, and then it randomly sets a new wallpaper for my home screen. And this one happens to be a forest and mountains at like sunrise or sunset. It's quite pretty.
Yeah.
So I've got like 30 photos that I pulled from Unsplash in there that are all like mountains or forests or oceans. And so if I'm ever feeling like I want to do a wallpaper, I just tap that button. I got a new pretty picture on my phone. It's glorious.
Well, that's fun. I wouldn't mind having something like that, but I would have to curate my photos because I can be very picky. Anyway,
well, only the good stuff gets in that folder, Dave. I mean, Mitch. Wow. Oh, wow. Podcast faux pas. Bad. Dave's on the other show. Holy cow. I've not done that.
Nope.
Yet. I'm disappointed in myself.
That's all right. I'm sure he's a good guy. So
he is, but this is a very different show to the one that he and I do.
So what else about the iPhone? Like this one's heavy.
You got the Max, right? So you have the Pro Max, and I have just the Pro, which I am more than happy with the cameras, man. Holy cow.
Okay, so
cinematic mode is hit or miss.
Yeah, before we get to that, how old do other cameras look right now on the other phones compared to this? Like it literally took me like one day. And I'm looking at somebody with an iPhone 11 at work the other day going, man, your cameras are so small.
Yeah, well.
These are big, beefy cameras.
They are large. And they are the one reason I actually do have the case. Is like I feel weird setting it down on the back. So I'm like always setting it down on the front, which guarantees that I'm going to have a scratched up screen here in a little bit.
There's a girl that I worked with at Wyndham when I sold timeshare that used to sit at her table and she'd spin her phone on the table, and she'd just sit there, and like it was a nervous tick that she did. She just spin her phone on the table, and then she comes over to me one day and she says, Mitch, I know you're a tech guy. My photos are all blurry. You know what's the deal with this? And so I grabbed her phone and I turned it around and looked at her cameras, and I think it just had one camera on it, but no joke, like the lens on the camera was all scratched up from her sitting and spinning her phone on the table. And it was those like radial scratches. I felt so bad for her, but it was just like, there's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, it's her own fault.
Yep. You ruined your cameras. But yeah, that's another thing that I had thought about too. But if I went caseless on this and I have the wallet, which we can get to in a little bit, but if I put the wallet on the back, that gives enough clearance so that the cameras aren't sitting on the desk or on the table or whatever. But the Apple cases do have a nice little lip around the cameras that does raise it off just enough so that the cameras actually do not sit right on the surface. So cool. Well, what do you think about the performance? of the cameras. I think there's a couple things we should talk about.
Yeah, I love the telephoto lens very much. And this
Mm-hmm.
is my first pro phone, so I have yet to experience this level of optical zooming, which is glorious. I'm currently have you on the telephoto, and I'm hopping back between that, the 1X, and then the ultra wide, and it's the range is ridiculous. So like on the ultra wide, I can see my monitor, I can see my chapstick over here, I can see my home pod over here. And then the 1X is like just the laptop with a little bit of the monitor. And then the 3X is literally right now just your face and your phone. it's it's quite a fun little game to play. Um so I like the 3X for sure. Cinematic mode is at this point a gimmick. It really, so like my daughter has very curly hair and it tends to be a little bit crazy because she's 4 and likes to run around and be goofy. And it struggles so much with her hair. Half of it's in focus, half of it's out of focus. Doesn't matter about the lighting. So like in it, as I think a lot of us were assuming, in pristine conditions it works. In normal life it's a gimmick. So that's, I guess, to be expected. But you know, it's fun to try, but it's definitely not reliable in most scenarios. And it only works on the 1X camera, which is fair. The ultra wide is a lot better in low light, which is great. I'm still trying to remember that this takes macro photography. And I play around with it every once in a while, but then I forget because I'm just not used to having it.
Yeah.
Um,
And I sent you a picture last weekend of my brewer hat that I took
yeah,
using
and
macro photography.
the detail in the threading on the logo was like
Crazy.
you could see each individual thread.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
I was
And of
very
course,
impressed with it.
you had to remind me that there's an M and a B there. Well, duh, Mitch.
I just did that as a joke because I
Did you
remember
know
we
there's
talked
an
about
arrow in the FedEx logo? But no, the cameras are really, really, really impressive. I went on a boat ride last night with a bunch of friends on the river at sunset. And we just so happened to be on the way back home heading towards the setting sun. And
Mm-hmm.
then wanted to get a group photo. And I was like, well, and everyone came to the front of the boat. So the sunset was behind us. And I was like, this is going to look like garbage. Like, but they wanted to use my phone because they're like, who has the newest iPhone? Okay, I do. Here you go. So we had the boat captain take a picture of us just straight out of the camera app with the sun setting behind us. And it turned out incredible. And I was like, we're going to be underexposed, like the background's going to be blown out. But it did such a good job of balancing the sunset behind us with the light on our faces. It was like, man, this actually looks really good. So it's that whole computational business is lets you break a lot of traditional photographic rules in certain circumstances to help make what would have been the incorrect way to take the photo actually pretty decent. So I was impressed.
No, and I think like I've always been impressed with, I mean, some of the low light photography that they've been able to do on the last couple of phones has been good. I haven't had a chance to use it too much yet with the new phone, but the little bit that I have, I've had like that picture that I took of the brewer hat was in low light. It was at a restaurant. The lights were dim. You know, I took that picture and you really couldn't tell. Looked a little warmer, but you really couldn't tell that picture was taken in as low a light as it was.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, had you not told me, I wouldn't have assumed that. I would just be like, oh,
mhm,
it's just a close up of the logo.
yeah.
Look at the threading, But they're like compared to, I mean, even my iPhone 11, which was what I traded in for this Pro 13. It is noticeable how much better of a phone in general this is, right? Between the screen and the cameras and just the the response, and like it is a noticeable increase in
Mhm.
everything. Its usability. I love the flat sides. Like my iPhone 5.
I was going to ask you how you like the design. Hmm.
Oh my gosh, I missed it so much. And because the sides are flat, it's actually skinnier than the 11. Because the 11
Hmm.
had the rounded edges, and so like it's noticeably, it's probably only like a quarter of an inch total. But like when I compared this case to the case I had for the iPhone 11, and then this phone to the 11 before I turned it back, like it is a noticeably slimmer phone. And because it's flat, the bezels look smaller because there's not the rounded edge too. So you get the visual and the physical feeling of this is a narrower, more compact, more dense. And then also with the smaller notch, like it feels like the phone is smaller and the screen is bigger. And so you're just getting more bang for your buck in that
Hmm.
area. I'm a huge fan. And I cannot believe the trade-in I got on that
Yeah.
11. Like it's ridiculous. Like, how are they making money on that? I don't know.
Right. I did compare this to the old 11 Pro Max, and I think the 12 Pro Max is probably the same size as this, the 13. But I compared the two, kind of stacked them up against each other, and there was a noticeable difference between the height of the phones. The width were about the same. I think the height was um maybe an eighth of an inch. It was definitely noticeable.
Mhm.
How much taller this phone was versus the other one, but and it feels bigger. Like it really feels bigger. I When I picked it up, I actually had a moment where I thought, oh shoot, should I have gone with the 13 Pro instead of the 13? Because this is a monster.
Yeah.
But I'm super happy with this. And speaking of size, I I was talking, or I was talking about the ATP this morning. And I
Mhm.
actually sent a tweet out to them about this because it drove me crazy that they were talking about this. But Marco is flipping out. He's been carrying the mini for the last year, and he loves it. And he got,
Mhm.
if you listen to the whole his whole rant about the size of the phone, you would have thought he got the Pro Max. But he was talking about how do people carry these? I put it in my pocket and it shifts around and he's just like flipping out about how big this phone is. And I'm like, dude, you didn't even get the big one. What are you talking about? Um, and so I mean you got to listen to it. It's about like good like 3-4 minutes that he goes on and on about this. But do you have solutions for this? Because I'll share with you what I do, which I don't have in these pants, but I've done in other pants. I don't know if I've shared this on the show before. Um,
We have yet to discuss your pants on the show.
okay,
This is a
excellent.
new topic.
So I hate my phone shifting around in my pocket, but that's where you carry it, right? And you have the same issue,
No.
like your phone shifts around in your pocket, like it sits in there and then it wants to move over. I sometimes it'll check. What pants are you guys wearing? Where all my jeans, the pockets are huge in them.
Yeah, no, not in mine.
Okay, well
My,
anyway,
my pockets are normal size, I would imagine. I don't know. Maybe they're
I
small.
don't know. I guess I'm not that big a guy. It's like I don't. I wear a 38 waist. It's like these pockets are huge. But anyway, so like right now, I put it in my pocket, and there is a easy, I don't know, like inch and a half. If I push it to the side of my pocket width wise, there's an easy an inch and a half width where that phone could shift over. You know, so
Okay, so let me ask you this: what type of jeans are they? Like straight or baggy
I
or
usually get
skinny?
relaxed fit. Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference, right? So I wear slim fit jeans, not skinny
Okay.
jeans. I'm not, but slim fit jeans. So they're a little tighter. They're not
Sure.
like skinny, but they're not relaxed. And so my phone doesn't
Okay.
move because there's just not there's not room there for it to slide around.
I
It
will
stays
say
where I
as an
put it.
aside, I'm super excited the fact that like the big baggy jeans are coming in fashion again because I miss those from the 90s.
Oh gosh, who says
Yeah.
they're coming back in fashion?
Oh, they're starting. They're starting to come back already. So a little different than before, but you still can get those big baggy jeans. Um so I have a little hack that I do that I actually have used safety pins, but I've also sewn a divider into my pocket. It works awesome. It keeps the phone right where it's supposed to be. Man, it if that improves the quality of my life so
My
much.
gosh. That's impressive, Mitch.
It never moves. Like it just stays right where I want it. And it's right where I want it when I pick it out of my pocket. I do really like the jeans that have the phone pocket that's down lower, like the carpenter jeans or the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
those kinds of jeans that they'll have it down on your
Mm-hmm.
right leg where you can just slide it into the pocket and it sits there. I have a couple pairs like that for work. But if I've got to put it up in my top front pocket, I usually do that on my left side, and that little divider just holds that phone right where it needs to be. I don't use that phone for, or I don't use that pocket for anything else. So you just close that off and slides right in there and sits there, never moves. It's great.
Why does
Keeps
it
it
go in your
comfortable.
left pocket? Aren't you a
It's just
righty?
here's the thing. I I used to carry my phone in the right pocket, but as the phones got bigger, like I just appreciated having my keys. Because if I'm grabbing my keys, I grab my keys out of my right pocket. I'm just so it's something that's so ingrained in me that I've never been able. I've tried switching them. I just can't get them to. I just can't get that to stick. So
Fair enough.
yeah, it's just what I do. And when I
Right.
pull my phone out of my pocket, I'll hold it in my left hand while I operate it from my right hand anyway. So, or if I'm one handing it, I'll just shift it over to my right hand. But I
I'm
can't get
not a
myself
keys
to
in the
do that.
pocket guy. I can't do
Oh,
that. Can't do keys in the pocket.
I get so I have a I have my smart key. Um,
Oh, that thing.
yeah, so it's like putting your
It's like a
keys
Swiss
into a
Army knife for
Swiss
a
Army
keys.
knife. Yeah. So I have that. These are like my home
What shall we
keys,
open
church
today,
keys,
boys?
right? That kind of stuff. But I keep my key fob separate. So this clips onto my belt loop and then I just tuck it into my pocket. So and that just sits up out of the way so that I don't have to mess with that because I don't have to pull that out of my pocket. So but anyway, now that we've gotten acquainted with my jeans.
Uh,
So we talked about
I
design.
don't know how to transition from
No,
that.
I don't know. I don't either. Where are we going from here? Um, anything else about the iPhone? Talked about the cameras, the design, promotion. Can't remember what. I mean, we still have a Lightning jack. Are you on the bandwagon of preferring the Lightning jack, or do you like the? Would you like them to go to USB C?
Just make it all USB-C. Like, get off your high horse. You know, everything else is USB-C. Your laptops, your tablets. Why
Mm-hmm.
not the phone? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I really don't disagree with you on that. The Lightning, I guess I don't care as much as some people do, but the Lightning jack on these, it would be nice to have one plug that does everything, and that way you can just whatever cord I have is that cord, and so if I'm down here in the basement, I don't have to grab my Lightning cable to plug it in, or fish through my other cables to find a USB-C cable for this other device I want to plug in. I have three cords hanging down here. I have a micro USB, I have a USB-C, and I have a lightning cable that just hang down underneath the desk down here. So if I need to charge something, I just rifle through those cables, find the right one, and then plug it in. I could have one cable over here, or maybe two USB-C cables so that I could charge more than one device at a time. But as it is right now, I have to have all these different cables for all these different things that I plug in down here.
yeah, it's just go USB-C on the phone. Like, I don't know why they. Maybe there's a technical, but there shouldn't be because the iPad runs, its version of iOS. So I don't know. I don't know. Can you tell me this though? On
Yeah.
The right side of your phone, you've got your power button here, and then you've got this little
There's a little window there.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know for sure. I probably look it up, but I'm assuming it has something to do with a antenna or something like that that can't go through the aluminum or something. So it does look like a little infrared port, like they used to have on the MacBooks, but it's just a thing. I don't know what I'm like I said, I don't know what it's for. I'm just
Because it's
assuming.
not been on previous
Yeah,
phones.
I'm just assuming that it's got to be for some kind of antenna. So, well, we have the internet. Let's look it up. Went to the Forbes site and I happened upon a article that answers this question. And the first thing that happens is, oh, we see you're using an ad blocker. Would you like to sign into the website? Would you like to create an account, or would you like to disable your ad blocker? I just want to freaking answer my question.
I mean, that's one way to lose readers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail out of this and find another article. It did say that it popped up for the first time on the iPhone 12.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. See if I can get. Oh, I can't get. Oh, I couldn't get far enough down on the article. I tried going back into the article because you can still read it a little bit because it just like grays it out. And I was trying to get in there so that I could scan down on the article far enough, or maybe I'd have the answer on the screen when the ad blocker thing popped up. It looks like it might have something to do with the 5G millimeter wave.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that
because I
makes
can't get
me
into the stupid
feel.
Forbes article, I'm gonna have to just that's gonna have to be good enough. I can't. It was the only. It was the
That's it,
only
folks. You've
article.
heard it here definitively, and there is no other option. It is for 5G millimeter wave.
So when I
Everything
was
else is
going,
fake news.
so when I was going through Google, that's the only one that came up that looked like it even had anything to do with what I searched for. So I'm just gonna, for time purposes, I'm just gonna say that's good enough. I think it's probably right that it has to do with the 5 millimeter wave, seeing as though it popped up on the iPhone 12 as well. So if any of our listeners know better than we do, we can certainly follow up next episode, and you can hit us up on Twitter.
Yes, teach us the things, please.
Yeah, just not going to eat up more of the show time on it. All
All
right,
right, Mitch.
So
There's one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
No. You go. I was totally going to change the subject, so you go.
Oh no, I totally have something about the iPhone that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So MagSafe.
MagSafe. Say it again.
MagSafe.
You're so from Wisconsin. I love it. Yes, MagSafe. Carry on.
Yeah, MagSafe.
Hey, he got it.
So, what do you think?
I have a MagSafe charger that I bought specifically to kind of like dip my toe in the MagSafe water because this is the first phone I've had that has it because the 11 did not.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the charger to, like I said, dip my toe, figure out and it's like, I love the like you were showing me that with the wallet earlier. It does the same thing. It is a solid, I wouldn't
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
It's a very satisfying
Yep.
And I didn't realize how big the magnet was because I thought the charger would be closer to like the Apple Watch size, charger. And this thing came in the mail, and it's like a legit inch and a half wide almost. It feels like it is a big charger. And so I like that. I have that on my.
I think I'm going to order one of those yet.
I have it on my bedside table. It's USB-C to MagSafe, which I think is hysterical that the iPhone is Lightning, but the MagSafe adapter is USB-C. Anyways. And so I have been looking at other accessories. Like there are, companies, especially for camera accessories that are big into, MagSafe stuff. You can get a tripod that mounts via MagSafe and like all of these other like totally unnecessary things. Um, I hadn't really thought about the wallet. I'm not a fan of my phone and my wallet being the same thing. I never have been. I know that there are plenty of people, including you, that are like some of my best friends. That they have the weird. It's like a case where like it covers your phone and you flip it over, and then it's a wallet on the backside, but it's also a stand
Mm-hmm.
that like the
Yeah.
pastor at my church and his oldest son both have and they love. And I'm like, but it makes your phone like an inch thick. Like I don't,
I've I've
it's
had
just
one of
not for
those
me.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not for me. I like my phone being like, the reason it's naked is because I like it being small and slim. Um, I just prefer that. It's cleaner to me, and I like having my wallet separately, so that if I lose one, I don't lose both. You know what I mean? Like that would just suck. But I'm beginning to look more at the MagSafe. What's the word? Not environment, but like world, I guess, the MagSafe world, and trying to see what
I just bought it. I was thinking about it and asked for it.
yeah.
I
So
have a story
I'm
behind it, so go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm more intrigued by MagSafe than I thought I was going to be. But I don't know what that's going to look like for me. I don't want to just, you know, spend money to spend money, if that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I did that for the charger, because well, you know, it's nice to have a charger, but I don't know um yeah, what MagSafe holds for me in that sense. But it is convenient and there are a lot of options. So I'm exploring them. And now I shall shut up, Mitch. How do you feel about MagSafe?
All right. So a couple of things. A few things. We'll call it a few things. I keep wagging my pencil at you. I'm gonna put that down. But I I was excited about MagSafe for a few different reasons. First off, I really wanted to try this wallet, and the reason that I like this is that I can cut down all the stuff that I carry in my pockets this way, so I don't have to carry a separate wallet. Like today, my parents are coming and we're gonna go out for my birthday. So if we drive down to Madison, I don't need to carry my big bulky wallet with me. I can just leave it in the car in case there is something that I absolutely need out of it. This wallet, I have my Apple Card and my driver's license in it. So I figure I shouldn't need anything else that's in my wallet otherwise. Because in my wallet is my Prime card and my I've got two bank cards in my wallet, and then I've
Mm-hmm.
got some gift cards that I have that I haven't used up yet for various things, and I've got my insurance card in case I need it for something. And I just like there's a lot of stuff in there, but I don't need that on me if I'm going to go walk into Costco, you know, for instance, or if I'm going to go sit at a restaurant. I don't need all that stuff with me, and I don't need that sitting in my back pocket. All I need is a credit card that I'm going to use to pay, and my driver's license in case I need it for identity. If we're at the I'm always flattered at now 45 to be carded when I get alcohol at the restaurant. Um, especially when they say we have to card everybody under 40. So if I could see your driver's license, I'm like, oh honey, I'm not under 40 anymore. But I'm flattered. Um, and which leads me to they didn't card me last night, so that's weird. But anyway, um gathering thoughts. But I like having the wallet for that reason, is I don't have to carry another thing. If there was some way that the entire world would just start saying, okay, you can use your phone for everything. They've got the driver's license that's coming to the phone. You've got like your vaccination cards. I don't know if that's in the 15 update or if that's coming, but you'll be able to update or put your vaccination card on your phone, which I kind of have a hacky way that I did it anyway. But any of your credit cards can be on your phone, and all you need is your phone on you. I'm 100% on board for that. because I don't want to have to carry so many things on me to be able to just um go out to eat, you know. So the other thing, and I'm going to get to the charging, my charging situation in a minute here, but I also bought is it the Bilkin car mount for this? So, which by the way, MagSafe has been totally solid for me in the car. In my Jeep, that when I back out of the parking lot goes like this and like jostles all over the place. What that phone never budges. So I do have CarPlay, and I don't usually have the screen on the phone, but I will tell you that every once in a while something comes through, and I just want to be able to tap on the screen and see what it was, and then just let it go, let it time out. But I really like having that phone kind of mounted up on the dash so I can see something if I need to see something,
I
or
just
if
hope.
there's an Apple event, be able to watch the Apple event while I'm driving to work.
I just want you to know how hard it was for me to not break out into song when you said "Let It Go."
Thank you for resisting.
Well,
That's a movie that I have not seen yet, and my wife refuses to watch. And I says, what's going to be hilarious is that we're going to get kids. We should get a foster placement sometime next year. When we get that foster placement, I said, those kids are going to love Frozen, and you're going to have to watch it, right?
she's gonna have to let it go, Mitch.
Yeah, she's going to have to let it go. You heard it here, hon.
Frozen never bothered me, anyways.
So, the last thing about MagSafe is the charger. I love charging wirelessly. Just being able to walk up, plunk the phone down, and it's
because
it's not a thing to have to worry about.
It's because you believe in witchcraft, Mitch.
Anyway, so we got our phones last Friday, and I went to set this down. I bought the Bilkin, or no, I'm sorry, the Mophie charger that when the 8 and the 10 came out that year, when the first phones that had the wireless charging on them. I bought that the Mophie wireless charger that they showed in the keynote. I bought that along with the phone, and I've been using that ever since. It's been great. And I drop the phone on it, and it charges. It's awesome. Well, the camera is a lot larger now, and gets in the way. So that big round disc, like the camera kind of makes it sit at just a slight angle if you get it lined up right for it to charge. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yeah, I got to do something about that. So I did grab my lightning cable, and I've been plugging it in at night. It's okay. I don't care for it, but I've been plugging it in, and I do have it on a USB-C plug. You're muted if you're talking to me, but
no, I was talking very quietly.
Oh, okay.
I was singing another jingle because now I have music in my brain. Sorry.
So now I have the MagSafe charger coming, and I will replace that. Should be here on Tuesday. I will just replace that cable. Actually, I'm going to leave that cable sitting there, and just use that for my AirPods. But I'll use the MagSafe.
Oh, the AirPods you have wirelessly charge, huh?
I usually throw those on the wireless charger, but I can use that cable for
mine. Mine do not, because I do not believe in witchcraft, Mitch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I live in a very dark world.
All right. Well, those are my feelings about MagSafe. I'm super excited about it. I went on Amazon and just typed in MagSafe and just scrolled through all the stuff that was available for MagSafe.
That's a dangerous thing to do, Mitch.
I didn't get that much. The one accessory I did get that I haven't talked about is I used to have one of those little rings that like attach to the back of your phone for holding your phone. And I have big hands, but this phone is large. And so having that little ring on the back to kind of make sure that I can get my thumb around the screen and I don't have to have the phone in like a death grip is really convenient for me. So I found a MagSafe version of that, and I have that, and it's out in the car with my wallet right now. So
There you go. I wonder if people just their sadness and loneliness just go to Amazon and just type in happiness and see what comes up.
you know, next time I'm
had
feeling
that thought.
down,
I just had that thought. And I'm like, I bet there are people that have done that. I would like happiness in 2 days, please.
Mhm.
Send it to my door.
I will not disagree.
Anyways, Mitch, the thing that I was going to bring up before we started talking about MagSafe was there's a certain elephant in the room today that we have yet to discuss.
Okay.
My Michigan Wolverines are in Madison today to play your Wisconsin Badgers.
I didn't
and I know
that.
Well, I know because you're an NFL guy and I'm a college football guy. And so I bring this up because do you know anything about the Badgers this season? Or are you completely oblivious?
I'm completely oblivious.
Okay. Well, they're 1-2, and they played Notre Dame last week, and they gave up 28 points in the fourth quarter to lose the game. And Michigan is 4-0, but looked not good last week against Rutgers. And so I just wanted to get your professional opinion on who you think is going to win this game, knowing all that you know.
I'm playing at Camp Randall.
Yeah.
Up here.
They're going to jump around, man, at the fourth quarter.
I'm going to give Wisconsin the edge.
What's your score prediction?
Hold on. You're gonna make me do a little bit of math or a little bit of research here.
No, I want your unbridled, just pure instinctual guess. You've got Wisconsin winning at home. What's the score?
The game has started already.
Yeah, I know. 17 minutes
5
ago.
minutes
it's fine.
in.
Don't tell me anything about the game. You horrible man.
I'm going to say 21-24. I think it's going to be a relatively low scoring game, but it's going to be a close one.
All right. So Mitch says 24-21 in favor of the Badgers at home.
In favor of the Badgers. Yep.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. We don't have to discuss it further. I was just curious.
You do realize that you have to format your numbers correctly. The away team always is the first score, and the home team is always the second score that you give. So 21-24 is 21 Michigan, 24 Badgers.
Thanks, Dad.
Or did you not know that?
I guess I didn't.
Okay. Anyway, maybe that comes from my broadcasting background, but yeah, you always give the away score first, or the away team score first.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, look at whenever you see the graphics at the bottom of the screen, the away team's always first and the home team's always second.
This is true.
All right. Anything in iOS 15 that we're excited about? Just generally speaking.
I did learn a new trick on the iPad. You know how if you with the Apple Pencil, if you swipe up from the bottom right corner, you get Quick Note. If you do so from the bottom left corner, it takes a screenshot, and you can immediately annotate it with your pencil.
Oh, that's crazy! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's super convenient. So
that's a fun hidden feature.
Exactly, because I would not have thought to, I wonder what happens if I swipe up from here. But alas, yeah. So that's a fun pro tip for anyone that's interested. Other iOS 15 stuff. You know what I completely forgot about, but in reading through Federico's review is the whole shelf concept. That if you have multiple instances of an app open and you open the app at the bottom, the other instances will appear for like a few seconds.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Apparently, I don't use multiple instances of apps because I've never seen this feature ever, and I completely forgot it existed until I got to that section of Federico's review.
So at work on Mondays when we do our meeting, I'm the only nerd in the room that does this, but I bring my iPad to work and I transfer all my documents. I'm signed into our OneDrive for work, And so I can pull the documents right off the OneDrive onto my iPad. And one day I discovered that feature and decided I'm going to try something different. I'm going to open up each report that I need to go to in a separate instance of this app. So I'm in files and I'm just opening up PDFs in files. And I had like 5 different things open. So then when I wanted to switch, I think there's a gesture, like maybe a slide up from the bottom or something like that, that you can use a gesture to go in and select the window that you want to see. It worked pretty well, but I don't think it was quite designed to do like 5 different things, because it crashed on me at one point. So I just decided not to do that anymore. But
fair enough.
yeah. I'm trying to save paper. This company, I swear, like we go through so much freaking paper for stupid things. Trying not to reveal where I work. We have to carry paperwork with us throughout the week, because if somebody important were to come visit, I have to have something on me if they ask me a question about, oh, your sales last week, or what's this or that. And so if I don't know the answer, I have to be able to look it up. So I have to carry all this paper with me. And I just looked at them. I was like, you guys are a bunch of weirdos. I am not carrying all this paper with me. My job, I can't have that crap sitting. I can't have that on me, because my job is very physical at work. And the more stuff I have on me, the more times that the particular garment that we wear to signify where we work likes to catch on stuff and like try to pull off of me or strangle me or whatever. So I can't have all this other garbage on me. I mean, even these pins that they want us to wear, like I'll put your flare, so to speak. You put these pins on, and it takes a week for all those pins to get ripped off of me, and like violently ripped off of me, because of all the boxes I carry, all the things that I move around from day to day. I can't have all this garbage on me. So I do everything digitally, and all this paper that they give me, I just take it and I throw it in the recycling, and just whatever. Drives me crazy. And I'm not like we got to save the earth or anything like that. It's just the amount of money.
Why would we want to do that?
The amount of money that we spend on paper is crazy. I asked once, okay, so our bookkeeper does all the ordering, and I asked her once, I says, what do you think you spend on paper a week? And she says, we go through about this much paper every week. And she figured it out. She's like, I think it was actually a month that we were looking at. It was $400 a month just for paper for our store, just our store. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you can buy an iPad a month for that. So why don't we like move to some kind of, and we could buy like a cheap Android tablet too. I would suffer through that. But why don't we just get tablets for all the supervisors and the management, and then everything's logged into a centralized, like the OneDrive or whatever, and we can just pull up all our stuff. We if you have to carry it in your apron that day, it can be a ruggedized version of whatever we get. You can put it in your apron, and I just gave it away. Dang it. But you can put it in your garment, and you don't have to carry all this crap. I mean, there's literally people that I work with that carry their garment sticks out like that much because of all the crap that they carry in it. And it's like, no, that's crazy. Yeah. There's a better way. We can do this better.
Yeah. And you didn't give it away. Don't worry.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, if I did, I did, whatever, I don't talk smack about them, because I question decisions that they make, but it's still a great company to work for. So
no, but there are multiple big companies where their employees wear aprons. You're good.
Yeah.
For all we know, you're just chef, Mitch.
I am a chef.
And the boxes you're carrying around are some Wagyu beef.
Yep. I am a chef of shipping and receiving. I cook up bill of ladings every day, and I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
Back to the
Anyway,
workshop. That's where that one goes.
I'll have to throw on that one out. um, there have been a lot of little things in iOS 15 that I've appreciated, and I wish that I could think of them all right off the top of my head. Messages. There's been some. You notice that there is the video icon up in the corner now.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. If I want to, FaceTime my wife, I can just hit that button and it goes right to FaceTime. So, because that's probably the most common thing that I would do out of messages if I was going to call her or whatever. So I like that button's there. Dang, what else? It's like all these little minor improvements that I've run into that I really like.
Well, there's one thing that, and I don't know if this is an iOS 15 issue or a developer issue, but you know how they have those different types of notifications. There's like the time sensitive and the non. And like I will specifically, like for Overcast, I will get, do you want to keep receiving notifications for Overcast, like when a new podcast comes out? And it gives the option keep or turn off, and I hit keep and nothing happens. I touch the button and it doesn't go away, and every time an Overcast notification comes up, it asks me, and I keep hitting keep and nothing changes. It doesn't register the fact that I have said keep. And it's not the only app that it's happened to. I had a test flight for a different app, as a dictionary app.
Yeah, so you've got leave on and turn off.
You've got leave on and turn off, but there's ones like the initial. It's like, do you want to keep this notification or do you want to turn it off?
I leave on. That goes away for me.
But mine's a different notification. That's you've already established it. This is the initial one, and it won't register the initial. Yes, I would like to keep these notifications. So, anyways,
I do kind of dig that that Tweetbot now has a widget. I wish it updated a little bit more frequently, but I dig that.
I just don't Twitter anymore, man. I don't even have Twitter on my phone anymore. When I got my new phone, I was like, yeah, I don't tweet or read tweets, so I just didn't install it.
I have a notification list. Actually, I call it notification list. It's a list of people on Twitter that I like to hear what they have to say about things. And in some cases, I'll see something on there and be like, "Oh, I didn't know that was happening today," or like I kind of assume that when the Apple Watch is ready for pre-order, like that's probably how I'm going to find out, is that I'm going to get. So I have notifications turned on in the Twitter app, so that the only notifications that I get from the Twitter app are the tweets from that list. So I'll be doing stuff on my phone or whatever, and a little thing will drop down, and it'll be like, Imor tweeted this, or Andy Anatko tweeted this or whatever. And so I kind of keep clued into some of the stuff that's going on. And every once in a while, something will pop up that I'll be like, oh, shoot, what's going on? And so I'll tap into that to find out what's going on that I'm missing right now. But it's a very select group of people. I want to say it's maybe like 10 people that I have in that list. So it's very, very much curated from my larger list of people that I follow on Twitter. I don't go to Twitter all that much to just like go through and like read tweets and stuff like that. It's mostly that's how I ingest Twitter. But Tweetbot, being that it has that widget now, allows me to have that widget on my home screen if I want. I have it in a stack, so I don't have it on there all the time.
Yeah.
But when I do have that on there, I can just open up my phone and be like, oh, there's a tweet I missed recently. And then just kind of move on from that. I wish it updated it more frequently. If it updated like once a minute or whatever, but it seems like it doesn't update that frequently. So it's not an exhaustive list of the tweets, but they do have the larger versions of it as well. So you could put a larger widget on there, but I'm digging that. And that doesn't have anything to directly do with iOS 15, but it is something that I've noticed that some of these apps are starting to get widgets. I know Overcast has got a widget now. I don't know if it's officially been released or if it's still just on the test flight, but
no, it's officially out there.
okay.
I just haven't used it yet.
I had it on my phone, on the old phone. I did not update my test flight stuff. I didn't go back to the test flight apps that I was testing. It was only a few of them, but it's like Overcast and Logos. But yeah. So I don't know if there's a whole lot to say. It's one of those things where I'd almost like to make a list over the course of a couple of weeks and then say, hey, here's all the things I discovered over the last 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, and the tricky part is like, I've been running the betas all summer, and so it's hard for me to remember what wasn't there, in March.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's almost as if I should have been making a list the whole time, but I'm just so used to it now.
Yeah.
Wow. So on the App Store, the top story, 5 winning tips for Among Us. I didn't even realize people still played that game.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
Oh, man, I never understood. Anyways. So,
cool.
Like an old man. You kids and your silly games. Get off my lawn.
Have you played that?
Among Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago, and it was all
it's a fun game. I enjoyed it.
I don't know.
It's good.
I'd rather play it like in person, like we wanted to do it with the youth group at church.
100%. I think it'd be
that would be super fun, but I don't know.
Well, we used to. There were 3 or 4 of us at work that played, and we would play during breaks. Like we'd all take lunch at the same time and play, and that was a hoot. That was fun.
And see, that would be more fun is playing with people but just playing with random strangers, like people are just like vile and vicious. It's like, go calm down, man. Why are we all ganging up on the red guy? Because you said so. Okay, let's kill him.
Yeah, somebody ruined.
That's how Jesus got. That's how Jesus got crucified. The Bible was like, "Oh, we want the criminal, kill him. There's no reason behind it, but we want blood."
Right.
All right, calm down, everybody.
Yep. Somebody ruined it for me once when I was playing too, because there is a pattern to who gets picked as the imposter. And if you pay attention, you can figure out before you go into the room who the imposter is, or before you start playing. And that it totally ruins the game for me. It's depends on what order people enter the lobby. So like the number nth person that enters the lobby is the person that gets picked to be the imposter. So if you're in the lobby early enough and you pay attention to which person hits that number, and I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to ruin this for anybody, but if you watch it, it works. Like it's very specifically that person that ends up being the imposter. So I don't know who discovered it or how they figured it out, but
like being accused of being the imposter or actually the imposter?
No, they're actually the imposter. Like, I'm not going to say the right number, but let's say it's the 3rd person that comes into the lobby.
All right, so it's not the 3rd person.
So it's not the 3rd person. But let's say it is. The 3rd person that enters the lobby is always the imposter.
How? How is that possible?
And so now you go in and you're the first person to enter the lobby. Say you started the room and you keep track of who the 3rd person is before you go into the game. You now know who the imposter is.
How? I do not believe you. You believe in witchcraft. You're unreliable.
It's terrible coding is what it is. It's not randomized at all.
But
I'm telling you, man, I played a bunch of games after this guy revealed this, and I watched every game. The same person that entered the lobby was the imposter.
Oh, the lobbies. Oh, I thought you meant like Okay, I thought you meant like coming back to like the where you like have the chit chat. You're gotcha. Okay.
No, it was whoever when before you go into the game, the
Okay, I
lobby that
understand
you're
now.
in.
That
Yep.
makes way more sense.
Hmm.
Okay,
So
I understand now.
okay, I'm glad.
I still won't play it, but that's fine.
So what's delighting you today, Cam?
Um, I don't know. There's a lot of things. I think the latest thing, and it's very simple and it's very silly, but I put new strings on my acoustic guitar, and I've been playing guitar for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
which is terrifying to say out loud. Um, and you would think at this point that I would remember new strings are always better. Always new string. And I don't play my acoustic very often. And it had probably been a year and a half since I put new strings on, which is just blasphemy. And just like my guitar should be taken away from me for neglect, right? But I put new strings on the other day. Oh my goodness, Mitch. It sounds like a choir of angels now. It's
Nice.
they are so fresh and vibrant, and there's so much tone, and the ring and it's just like, oh my, why do I not do this like once a month? They're not expensive. Like it sounds like a new instrument. Um it's I'm quite pleased and also quite mad at myself for neglecting to spend the $12 it takes to get a new set of strings, right? So it has brought me much joy in the past week to just sit down and just jam on some music and just like, man, it just sounds so much better with the new strings. And it's like I said, it's a simple little tiny thing, but man, it's a big difference.
Cool.
So that's it for me, man. Just new strings on the guitar. It's like, ooh,
I'm
it's a new lively thing. But
I'm guessing that the guitar it has a little bit more effect, but I know that whenever I restring a bass, like the bass always just feels crisper and it has that
yeah.
nice it has better tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because your strings aren't stretched out, they're not worn down, they're not full of your
mhm.
finger gunk. Like they're just
Yeah.
new strings on any stringed instrument are always better.
Hmm.
So, anyways,
Cool, cool.
I cede the floor to you, sir. What is
What
delighting
is
you?
delighting me? Man, I've got such a list of things that are delighting me right now. Things have been good. Work has been that would be kind of an anti-pick in this area right now, but 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 beyond that, like there's been some really good stuff that has happened. My mother-in-law visited last weekend. We had fun. Um, we're working through our foster care stuff. I did find out this last week that the parental leave that we have at work includes foster placement.
Oh, sweet.
So when we get our first foster placement, I will be able to take 6 weeks of paternity leave paid,
That wow, that's
100%
amazing.
paid. So yeah, so sometime next year when we get that first pay, it makes me want to be a foster dad and not adopt, because then I can do this once a year, just take 6 weeks off. but but I think the one thing that really I've been really struggling with my studio in the basement here, coming up with ideas to do uh, like what to do with it, because I know like the wall that's right behind me over here, I really want to put up some kind of shelving system. I have so much stuff on my desk right now. You can kind of see out the corner of the picture here. I've got a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff up in a crate that I have up on the wall here. I've got stuff over here. I have stuff over here. I've got stuff right there. It all needs a shelf to go on to be displayed, but I don't have that shelf right now. So either it gets gunked up like on the desk back behind me here or whatever. So I was really struggling. I've been racking my brain trying to come up with a system to be able to show all this stuff. And the light went on last week. I have a plan. So right here, you can kind of see where this 2x4 is right here. I'm going to blow out the wall behind this. You can kind of see I started doing some work on this already, but I'm going to blow this wall out. There's an electrical panel right behind here, so I can't take it all the way back to this wall. So I have to leave like a little closet here. But on this back wall behind me, I'm going to put what I've seen referred to online as extra large pegboard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to make it because they don't like make this stuff. So I'm going to do the whole wall in plywood and then drill holes every 6 inches in all directions. So I have a grid of
Uh-huh.
holes, and then I'll take, and it's going to be 1 inch holes. I have one 1 inch dowel back here already. I'm going to test this theory out and make sure. I want to use MDF plywood because it'll be nice and flat, but I'm not sure if it's going to be strong enough to hold any kind of weight. So I think it should be fine, but I want to test it. And so I bought a 2x4 sheet that's sitting over here, and I've got some dowels. And at some point, I'm going to go and cut this up. I'll use it somewhere, um, but I want to test this out first before I get ahead of myself here. But you can put these dowels into this grid, put shelves on top. You can hang stuff
Mm-hmm.
from it. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. And I came up with a color scheme that I'm going to do that I think is going to be really cool and fun. And so I'm pretty jazzed about that. So that's what's delighting me right now. So
Sounds like a fun project.
it's going to be cool. And I think that it'll get me far enough through this process that the steps to complete the room will just fall into place, and it'll just be a money thing at that point
Mm.
to have the money to finish everything out. So, and then I will have a nice newly remodeled space down here and I think I'm going to get a little couch to put back here and just have my own little man cave back here that duplicate. It's also can be used as a studio, can be used as a an office space. So it'll be a nice little space for me. It's not a very big room, but it'll work. So I like it.
Well, that's little projects like that are always fun.
Yeah.
To get your creative juices flowing, make better use of your space.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. The color scheme that I want to go with on the wall, I want to do the whole wall in kind of a dark orange. And then I want to do the shelves in, I think I might use stain instead of paint so that I get a little bit more of like um the wood grain and stuff like that on the shelves. But I want
Mm-hmm.
to do like a blue for sure because that blue will contrast really well with the orange. I'm gonna have to pick the right blue, and then the rest of the shelves will be like gray and black, uh, stained. So they'll still have. I thought about using that Japanese technique where you burn the boards and then sand them down and then do like a colored stain on them. But that's gonna be a lot more work than I want to do. But
Yeah.
I forget what they call that technique. But it's it's an interesting technique. I like the results of it, but yeah. So cool. I'm excited to get going on this project here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I got my profit sharing last week, so I have money right now to be able to do some of this stuff. So now it's just a matter of finding the time. So
Yeah. Well, I'll be excited to see the finished product.
yeah. The big thing that's going to break my heart is I got to take the ceiling tile down. If you've ever put up ceiling tile before, it sucks. I hate putting
Mm-hmm.
up ceiling tile. And I've got to take all the ceiling tile down and then replace it all with new ceiling tile. I might be able to reuse a few of these squares, but they're not in the same condition that they were when I put them in. So because I've had to pull them out and put them back up, and so but I'm gonna have to do ceiling tile throughout the room, and that's painful. So maybe I can find a creative way to get around having to do that.
Just paint it all black, dude. Get rid of it. Paint the ceiling black. Call
Paint
it
the
good.
ceiling black.
Yeah.
The problem is my cat likes to try and climb up there, and so I've actually have ceiling tile like tucked up into the rafters in here so that he won't jump up in the rafters because he gets on the desk and he can get up there. So I was afraid that he was going to get up on top of the heating stuff. I got some heating pipes or vents and stuff like that coming through the room, and I've got the waste pipe from the house empties out in this room, and so it's just there's a lot of stuff in here that's going to be in the way. So I am going to have to paint some of this stuff, but yeah, so I'm excited. That's going to be fun. So, and hopefully someday I'll have you over and you'll be like, wow, that's cool. It's fun. I like it. And
Indeed.
I'll be like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Very good.
Cool. Well, I think that's all we have for this week. And we've talked long enough. So my folks are going to be here, in the next 15 minutes to hour. So I will let you go. I will let the listeners know that if you want to find out more about us or find our back catalog, we are at innerdialogue.show. And that does have links to click on to subscribe to us in various podcast clients. So feel free to subscribe to us there. And I can be found at Mitch Craig on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter on my phone anymore, so I'm at Cam Brennan on Instagram.
so hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions, and we'll get them on the show here. And we also are on Instagram. He's always Cam Brennan. I'm Radio Mitch on Instagram. So feel free to follow us and like all the pictures I put up because they're all great.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah, do that. Like all Mitch's photos, please.
do you get these? You get these random people who like your photos?
I don't know that I can think of.
I think what's more annoying is the random people that want like they start following you, and then Instagram is convinced you want to follow them back. So, but it's just annoying. I'm old. Get off my lawn.
Exactly. All right.
Anyway, well, that wraps us up for today. Just hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions, or hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions. And check us out at innerdialogue.show. Cam, it's been fun. You have a good week, sir.
It has been fun. I shall now get off your lawn.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.
Take care then. Bye-bye.